Dominic, can you describe the patterns and what shows up in my life?
Well, yes, I can, Carolyn. I'm so glad that you asked. So it's interesting to see how what's going on in the person's life and what shows up in their body, because how you perceive life is consistent with the attention patterns that you have. Right, your body's your reality filter, and if that's accurate, then when I feel someone's body top to bottom, and I see where their body's twisted, where they're forward, whether they're in defeated posture, whether they feel open and supported by life, whether they feel withdrawn, those all have postures. Those states of being all have postures and tension patterns that are consistent with that. So absolutely, when you were seated and I felt your body, your spine, top to bottom, when you laid flat on the table face down, and I saw where your hip was twisted, where your neck was twisted, those all tell me volumes about how you show up, and it's consistent with not just what happens, but your interpretation of what happens. And it makes sense if you see something a certain way, your behavior is likely to be a certain way. So literally, I could tell from a quick evaluation, observing somebody, feeling their body, um, what their assumptions are about life and how they show up. And it makes sense if you see it a certain way, your behavior is going to be a certain way. So, to answer your question, yes, heck yeah, I can tell you volumes.
You could
Where
see.
do you want to start?
You- Um, that's I guess the stress factor that we looked that you showed me. That on one side of my neck it was all black. There was an all black bar.
So part of the analysis that we do here in the office is not only the evaluate where I touch top to bottom, where's your muscles tight, where's your body on a balance, where it's rotated, I feel your spine, I feel the tissues. We also have instrumentation that measures the muscle tension on both sides of your spine from top to bottom. So I can see your tension patterns. I can see where your body's twisted and how tight that is.
Hmm.
Because your muscular system and your emotional system are the same.
Yeah.
So literally, the more emotionally bound up the person is, the more muscle tension. And we know that because when I work with someone and I get the muscle, the breath wave to move through the spine, the muscle tension melts. They oftentimes emote. They have emotion bubble up. They'll spontaneously start laughing for no reason as they're laying face on the table.
Hmm.
Or a lot of times people will start crying. And then
Yeah.
you go back and you feel the muscle tension and it's melted at least 50, 60, 75%. It's almost as if emotion and our muscular system are mirrors of each other. And your immune system too, to add that in. Your immune
Hmm.
system, your muscular system, and your emotions are the same. So someone who's muscularly bottled up, their immune system is decreased.
Yeah.
So getting muscle tension to drop, getting them to release whatever bottled up emotion that was.
Hmm.
It's amazing to see how their immune system starts functioning better and better.
Yeah. So you won't get those random bursts of laughters and emotions once it's all released because that's built up tension.
I would say that the more open the person gets, the more online we get their body, the more connected they get to their body, the more expressive they typically become.
Oh, okay. Because when there's people that have it's kind of a coping mechanism when they're in an awkward situation or in an intense situation, they just start laughing. There's
Yeah.
people
So how? Okay.
and
So perfect analogy. So how
yeah.
beautiful is that? So
Mhm.
what that means is what. So when they're in a situation where they feel awkward or uncomfortable, for
Mhm.
example, I knew someone who, whenever they got nervous or felt uncomfortable, they would laugh.
Yeah.
We went to a funeral together, and we had to leave because they were laughing.
Oh my gosh.
So the perfect analogy is. So when is it appropriate? When is it inappropriate?
Yeah.
Right. So you
Uh-huh.
want to release the tension, the emotion, but do it in a way that's
Yeah, that's not appropriate in that
appropriate.
situation.
Yeah, that was a little awkward, so we left early. Yeah, but perfect example, absolutely. So that
Yeah.
when someone feels uncomfortable, that emotion is what they're feeling, right?
Mhm.
And then you want it up and out.
Because people find that crazy sometimes. I've been in situations where we're like in an argument or something, and then you start laughing, and it's like, this isn't funny. You're always joking around. I'm like, I can't help it. Like,
Well, that's not that. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing because anytime you're arguing, it's typically two people defending themselves.
yeah.
Because it's hard to have an argument with someone when you're acknowledging where they're at.
Hmm.
So the whole deal about an argument isn't really ideal and typically isn't constructive. Um, And laughing is a great way to move the energy. So hats off to you for expressing what you feel. It's very feminine of you. Nice, Carolyn.
Is
You're
it?
coming around.
Oh
See,
my
there is a
gosh.
glimpse of Carolyn accessing her feminine more.
I'm glad that's appreciated.
It is. I think it's excellent. And good for you for expressing what you feel. And I think that if we judge ourselves less, and especially the feminine, and allow them to express more, that's exactly what you want.